coming up in this episode.
Woohoo! We're on the road. My sister and brother-in-law are in front of me, and I'm telling you, on the highway, I forget that I'm towing anything. So that part of it is awesome. We got all hitched up this morning, and we're on our way. I'm super excited. We are headed to the Glen Canyon Recreation Area, and I think we have camping someplace already reserved for this evening. They made all the arrangements. They have a really big toy hauler. So their trailer, it's funny, we were stopped at the gas station and I was lined up right next to them, and my little trailer in comparison to theirs makes it look really small. Anyhow, so I'm just kind of along for the ride on this trip. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be beautiful, it's gonna be fun. This is so unbelievably beautiful. If you have never driven Scenic Byway 95 here in Utah, I highly, highly recommend it. Good morning from Big Water, Utah. I'm sorry that I lost you guys last night. It was a very long day of driving, and it was super, super windy when we got to camp. I mean, you know, knock things over windy. So I wasn't able to film the setup of the trailer or anything. I didn't want my camera blowing over in the wind. My sister just made an awesome pizza in their oven of their trailer, and we just kicked back, had dinner, and pretty much went to bed early. We actually had gone to scope out another campsite over at Height Outpost, I believe it's called. We had mixed news whether it was open or not, and we decided just to go check it out. We did have reservations here in Big Water, which is right near the Lake Powell Resort. So we had a backup plan, but we decided, you know, we would just eat the cost of this campsite if we were able to find camping there. Unfortunately, it was closed, but it did also extend the driving yesterday. So we got in a little bit later than we had anticipated. This is a really pretty site. My sister and brother-in-law are very private people, so I don't know how much I'll show of them on camera. I want to respect their privacy, but I'm really glad to have them out here on my first maiden voyage with the trailer. It did really well in the wind yesterday. I was very surprised. I oftentimes forgot I was even towing anything. I didn't have any, you know, hesitation about changing lanes or anything like that yesterday. So I'm pretty happy with its performance so far. It does, you know, I think the truck is actually, it feels like it's performing better without the big camper on top. The plan for today is to go explore. I think we're going to go back to the Height area, and we're going to also scope out some potential camping for boondocking. We didn't have any service in that area yesterday, so now that we have service, we're going to put some GPS coordinates in our phones and see if we can find some boondocking. So we may or may not stay here again tonight. However, I think if we do, we'll definitely be leaving tomorrow and moving on. We plan to spend, I think, 3 or 4 days together, so I'm really stoked. So I'm going to get my lunch packed up to take with me today. They will be driving. I will leave my rig here, and it should be an awesome day. Making a little brekkie before we hit the road. A little open-faced egg sandwich with watermelon as a side. We just came to check out this campground. It's called the Star Spring Campground, and it is a BLM campsite. There are 13 sites here, I believe, but they are all very small, so you do need a small rig. My rig would fit in here, but my sister and my brother-in-law's would not. But if you're ever looking for a place, there's a beautiful view of the mountains here in this area. This is a good one, and when the leaves get on these trees, it's probably really awesome, especially in the summertime.
In the 1880s, Al Starr chose this site as the headquarters for his horse and mining operations. Shortly after operations began, a stonemason was employed to build a house and cellar. These cellar remains show the stonemason's unique craftsmanship. For the remainder of the day, we set out to explore beautiful scenic Byway 95.
We were back at camp after a fun road trip today. We did scout a location to boondock tomorrow, so we'll be moving tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit cooler where we're going, a little bit higher in elevation, which will be nice because here where we are now, it's about 80 degrees. Also, at this new location, there are a lot of OHV trails, which they brought one of their side-by-sides, so that'll be fun. If you remember, my sister Jill, for those of you who've been around for a while, she was battling lymphoma a little over 2 years ago, and she has been cancer-free for 2 years. Thank you, thank you. She still is recovering physically, so she's not able to get out on any big hikes, but that is a goal of hers, so I cannot wait until she's able to do that. But in the meantime, we can explore some trails on the side-by-side tomorrow. That'll be fun. Tonight, we're just going to grill up some burgers at their place, so I'm going to get mine all seasoned up and then take it over there, and we'll have a nice dinner this evening, our last night here at this camp. Good morning. I'm feeling very refreshed after a great night's sleep and my first shower in my rig last night, which was heavenly. We are getting ready to move camps. We've just been doing all our morning chores. I dumped my tanks and filled up with water. We don't have very far to go, and at this camp I did not need to unhitch because my brother-in-law drove. We thought we were only going to be here one night. We wound up being here 2 nights, and it was a pull-through site, so I did not need to back up. So I still have not had my backing up practice, but I know that will come. Anyhow, yeah, we're just getting all packed up, ready to go. It's going to be an awesome day today. A lot of folks commented that these baskets were going to fall during travel. I do take them down and put them on my bed. So this trip is pretty much considered a shakedown mission, just making sure everything is working properly in the trailer. It's been a bit hazy the last couple of days. There was a big fire, and it may still be going on in Arizona near Flagstaff, I guess, between Flagstaff and Page. So I think that we're getting some residual smoke from that. Looks a little bit more clear today than it was yesterday. I'm gonna make myself a sandwich.
After finishing up lunch, it was time to ride. We are currently on the Mount Hillard Loop Trail. I believe it's about a 40-mile loop around Mount Hillard, and the views are incredible. This ride has been absolutely stunning, a new view around every corner, and we just came across this very cool beach and these old structures. I only brought my phone to film, so sorry if you're hearing any wind noise.
Well, that was a wild and fun ride. It wound up being 42 miles round trip. And we did wind up going through some pretty sketchy sections, some black diamond sections. My brother-in-law Dan did a great job driving, and it definitely made it an adventure. I didn't used to be a big fan of those OHV vehicles. However, now I am, because they allow people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get out on these, on trails in the backcountry by foot, to see things that you would typically see hiking. And that, my sister is included in that group for now. I have complete faith that she'll be back on the trails again in the future. There are some people that may never be able to hike these trails that can easily get into the backcountry on one of those vehicles. So for that reason, I am a fan. We are getting dinner prepared. We're having steak and chicken, and once again my brother-in-law is manning the grill. We're going to go ahead and eat in my sister's trailer. They have a 42-foot trailer, so it's double the size of mine, and it's a toy hauler. So with the vehicle outside of the trailer, we're going to set up a little table, and it's going to be a nice dinner here in our boondocking site, which is just beautiful. The winds are howling out there. They're supposed to even kick up more tomorrow, but we will be leaving. Everybody's pretty beat after being in the elements all day. We've had a very eventful few days. We've covered a lot of ground. It's been a lot of fun though. I've absolutely loved spending this time with my sister and brother-in-law. That's the thing I miss the most when I'm on the road, is my family. I'm very close with my family, so this has been priceless. Dinner was fantastic. We topped it off with some cheesecake with mixed berries on top. It was just the bomb. I hope you've enjoyed spending these last few days with me. It's been really cool getting to know my little home. I've been living in it now for over a week, over on my sister's property. However, this is the maiden voyage on the road, and I'm so glad that you guys have come with me. For those of you wondering about the electric jack, I will be getting an electric jack, and I will be beefing up the solar, or at least getting an inverter to start with. These outlets in here are powered by inverter, but there's no inverter bringing power to the outlets yet. So I will be meeting up with a friend after leaving my sister, and they will be helping me to get everything all set up. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some of that process. If you'd like to see getting the inverter set up and getting the solar all dialed in. I didn't do any backing up on this trip. I got lucky and didn't have to. However, I do need to practice. So yeah, I'll be getting a lot more practice on that down the road, but it'll all fall into place. I know that it will. I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this video with tonight's sunset, depending on how it looks, but I'm sure it's going to look beautiful. I want to thank you all for joining me on my maiden voyage. It's very exciting to have my new home. I'm loving it so far. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We are going to be having a lot more fun in the future on future adventures. So stay tuned and join me next week, and I will see you soon. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
Wait for it. Tomorrow's sunrise is even better.